and welcome back to Ghoulin Around. Today we're going to do a Book Lovers Day special. It's Book Lovers Day today. So, Jason is not joining us, but I am your host today, Joanne Massey.
Loretta Mooney.
Jason sucks and doesn't want to be a part of this.
He just hasn't read a whole lot of books. Joanne and I love books. We've
God, I don't even know
read
how many.
so many.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just kind of wing it from here, but so I got into books, especially horror books, back in junior high school?
I think even before that, because you were reading Goosebumps, although it's not technically like horror, but
for kids.
For kids, it is. You were reading Goosebumps. All you kids read Goosebumps.
Yeah.
And really liked them, so, I mean, I think it was even before junior high.
Yeah, you messed me up with those Dr. Seuss books, man.
But you guys loved the Dr. Seuss books.
One foot, blue foot, red foot. Well, I don't remember how it goes.
Yeah.
I remember even reading my favorite ones when I was younger was Where the Sidewalk Ends and stuff that.
Oh yeah. Those are a little twisted,
they're
poems.
A little twisted, yeah.
Poems. I mean, they're not scary or anything, but they are a little odd, and I love them. I love Shel Silverstone's any of the ones that he's put out. Where the Sidewalk Ends. The Giving Tree. And then Lights in the Attic or something like that.
I think at one point I had them all.
Yeah.
So there's, I kind of started off, I read a lot. I read all four, this was back when there was only 4 Harry Potter books. I read all 4 of them in the 4th grade because of the AR reading.
Yeah.
And I was also reading books that were above my level, I remember reading Black Beauty.
Yeah.
Because that was supposed to be a 6th grade level book. I read it in 4th grade.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when I got to high school is when I started reading the Stephen King, because you were reading Stephen King. I started with I think my first one I read was Carrie. I think it was my first one that I read by Stephen King. And then I tried to read Bag of Bones. I couldn't get through that one.
That one's a little tougher.
Yeah, for high school, freshman high school, I could not do it. I put that thing down. And I put down books for quite a while until I started working at the middle of the freaking night and there's nothing to do and you take break by yourself and nobody's there. So then I started taking books to work. And at that time, our old producer, John, had recommended reading Michael Crichton. So I started with Timeline by Michael Crichton, and that just, oh my God, I read all of his books after that.
I read that one on your Audible. It was okay.
Timeline?
Timeline.
It was
okay. I didn't really care for the style of writing. Every author, if you read, every author has their own style. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's hard for me to get into certain styles of writing because I pretty much, other than children's books, once I got into horror books, I basically read Stephen King. That was pretty much it. The first book I ever read by Stephen King was Pet Sematary, and I was in junior high. By the time I was in high school, I was already in it and a lot more of his stuff. But the styles are so different between authors that when you read a certain author for so long and like that style of reading and get used to it, it's hard to jump to other writers sometimes, depending on their style of writing. For me, anyways. Not a lot of people have problems with that. I do, because I do have a reading issue. So it's harder for me sometimes to read certain books.
I jumped from Michael Crichton. Who did I read after that? I don't remember. I read a lot of Stephen King. We're on the Dresden Files. We're reading Jim Butcher.
Yeah.
V. Schwab. Oh my God, I loved those books.
Yeah, the two. Yeah. Have you tried The Near Witch yet?
No.
Oh, I couldn't make it through just because of the person that was narrating. I tried really hard. I think I got to chapter 6 or 7. It might be a good book. I don't know.
Might have to just buy it and read it yourself.
I might have to just buy it and read it for myself because I couldn't make it through the narrator that's on that one.
Yeah.
Which is a downfall to the audiobooks.
Yeah. That's what kind of I had a problem with reading Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, okay.
It was the girl that was doing the narrating. And for some reason, I don't want to be like sexist or anything, but like I like listening to a man's voice better than a girl's voice when it comes to narrating. I don't know why.
Me too, but that's, I don't know. I don't know if it's I don't think it's a sexist thing because I'm the same way.
I would just prefer listening to a man's voice.
Yeah.
I don't like the females' voices.
Just have Sean Connery read every book, put it on audio, and we'll be good for the rest of our lives. We could read everything then on Audible.
Well, that's true. But I don't know. We've read a lot. We obviously know your favorite Stephen King, but what was your favorite book by Stephen King?
Favorite book? Oh.
One. You gotta pick one book. Not series, not...
You seriously won't let me do the Gunslinger, the Dark Tower series.
Which book was your favorite?
Okay. If I only have to pick one and I can't do a series, then it would have to be The Green Mile.
That's technically a series. It was a mini-book series.
It was, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I know. They put it all into one later on.
Yeah, they did. Or The Stand.
The Stand was really good.
Oh my God, that one was just insane. That one I liked a lot. So it would be a toss-up between the two.
See, I haven't read The Green Mile yet. But The Stand was really good, and I loved it as well.
Yeah.
It was really good. I'd have to say, though, probably my favorite would be out of the Dark Tower series was The Drawing of the Three.
Because that's where
you meet everybody.
Yeah,
and it was so good. It was just the way it was done. I would love to be able to just, if they could put, I don't think they could put that in a movie. They couldn't. No, but it was so good the way it was done.
The movie that they did, actually, if you are a Stephen King fan and you've read these books, please do not watch the movie because it will disappoint you so bad. I'm sorry, they left out like all the main characters except for the man in black, Roland, and Jake. And those were only 3 of the main characters.
Yeah, you're missing Susanna and you're missing Eddie.
I mean, you're just missing so much of it.
And Eddie was my favorite.
Oh, I know. Eddie's my favorite.
It took me like almost a week to just get through that one part where he died because I was crying. I was like, I can't listen to this. I was
reading that part. I actually had the books. I've read them 4 times each before I listened to them on Audible, which she had. So I've actually went through them all 5 times already. But when I first got the book where Eddie dies, I was reading it and Grandma had come over and she walked in and I was just bawling and she's like, what the hell are you reading? I'm like, Stephen King. And she's like, but he's a horror writer. I'm like, I know.
Well, because like you have Eddie throughout the entire series.
The entire series, and except for the first 2 books.
No, he comes...
except for the first...
He comes into the second book.
He comes in at the second.
Yeah.
So you have Eddie like all the way through and you just learn to love him. You see how much he grows.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I mean, he's just one of those types of characters that really, really, like, you can associate with. Mm-hmm. And you get so attached to him. And I did not even have the slightest inkling that was going to happen. I mean, I pretty much, when that happened, I went,
and the way it happened,
physically,
too, yeah.
I physically went, no! And I'm like, you know, as I'm reading this, because I didn't expect that. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you can't kill Eddie. No.
No. I didn't even cry when Jake died. I was like, whatever.
No, me neither. Eddie. But Eddie, I know. I know, me too.
Yeah. For another really good series, obviously, we both love the Harry Potter series.
The Harry Potter and the Dresden Files. Mm-hmm. I'm actually almost done with the Dresden Files again for the 3rd time. I've gone through all the audiobooks, and there's 15 of those. But I'm on my third go round with them. I love them. It took me a little bit to get into them because the narrator, the guy that narrates, James Marsters, it was a little odd to hear his voice at first, but I really got used to him. And then now it's like I took a little break and read a couple other books or listened to a couple other books, and I'm like, I don't like the voice. I got to go back to James Marsters. I actually really, really got used to his voice and ended up liking his voice and the different tones and mannerisms that he would do the characters in.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, everybody needs to match up to him.
Yeah, I enjoyed those. And then what was the books by V. Schwab? What were they called?
Vicious and...
That's right, Vicious.
But Vengeful.
Vicious was
amazing. Oh my God. That one I think I read 3 times too. Listened to him 3 times too because I just wanted to get it all really, in that line of how events unfolded.
See, I loved that book so much because now instead of having a good versus evil, now you have bad versus bad.
Yeah.
And
bad versus worse.
Yeah. But you don't have a good character. Like, you don't have a good person in this. And you're just like, well, I'm going to side with this one because, obviously that's the way the book's written is you're going to side with him over the other. But it was just like...
But in real life, who would you pick?
Yeah.
Because they're both not very stable mentally at this point.
No, but I really enjoyed it. I really liked it.
Yeah, I liked that one a lot too. When you had me listen to it, I was like, oh wow, this is amazing.
For an author we've never heard about or seen anything on.
Yeah, where did you find that one?
We went to her panel.
Okay, she was one of the authors that was here. Okay.
We went to...
For Comic-Con. Okay.
I don't remember what the panel was, but it was some kind of panel. It had different people in it. It had the guy who wrote Lore.
Okay.
He was in that panel, so that's how we found that. She was in that panel, and so was another author that was in that panel.
Well, T.M. Williams was in that one, too, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
There was like 4 or 5 of them in that panel.
I think it was like research behind my book or something. They were talking about their research behind them. And remember, she was talking about Vicious and the research of her finding out ways to kill somebody and bring them back. And I was just like, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah,
because
that's why you got into it, because of the medical aspect of it. And then I listened to it after you did. And I mean, even though I don't have the medical background that you do, what they did in that was amazing.
Oh yeah, I loved the reason for them getting the powers that they did.
Oh
it was just awesome.
Yeah, the way they got their powers was it was unique.
Yeah, it was definitely different than anything else.
Yeah, very different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've heard of, or even as in movies, watched anything quite on this line.
I would really love them to see a movie of this.
Yeah.
But what I'm picturing the characters looking like in my head...
it's not going to be the same.
Nope. It's not. I really hope they get the right people for it.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah, they would have to. They'd have to get it right.
Oh, yeah. They would have to be, like, perfect. Because it was so good. Mitch...
But good actor. Yeah, Mitch. Yeah, that's going to be a hard one.
Yeah.
But they have to find the people that's actually going to portray... the bad versus worse. They're going to have to, these characters are going to have to realize, hey, we're bad. They need to play that correctly.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to have a good character in it.
Yeah.
They're going to have to all be bad versus bad.
Yeah.
And it's just...
But it would be a great movie.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'd love to see that. Just see the smarts.
Yeah.
They were both so smart, too.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy smart, especially the whole plan in the first one. I was like, what is this guy doing? He's just gone crazy. No, it was his plan. It was his plan the entire time. Yep. I was like, Jesus Christ, how did he figure this all out?
Yep.
That was terrible.
Yep. But yeah, those are good. I do like, I got into reading some of Dean Koontz. John Saul. John Saul is actually pretty good. I don't think you've read anything.
I haven't read any John Saul, but I did start reading the Odd Thomas series by Dean Koontz. I got like 3 books in.
I read the first 2 on your audio.
The first 2 are really good.
Yeah.
I really liked the first 2, and then I read the 3rd one, and I still liked it, but it felt like, okay, we're just going to keep doing this. Not forced, but it's like, okay, we're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Oh, okay.
He introduces some new weird creatures I really liked in the third book.
Oh, okay.
So I enjoyed that aspect, but it was like, okay, like how many times are we going to
go over the same thing?
Yeah. But I loved his dead Elvis that follows him.
I know.
I love Elvis.
I love Elvis. Yeah, I read the first 2 on your audio. I listened to them. And I actually liked them pretty good. But then, you know, I have read some Dean Koontz. I do like his style of writing. John Saul is more, instead of like horror, he's more like paranormal type of stuff. Supernatural, paranormal, however you want to call it. But a lot of his stuff is very original ideas.
Okay, who was the author I found that's from Arizona that does the horror movies for horror books?
The Little was the last name, wasn't it?
Gilbert Little or Bentley Little?
Bentley Little.
Okay, so I don't know how I stumbled upon him.
Yeah.
I really don't remember, but I was looking up like horror books, I think, and it was just like came up with Bentley Little, and it said it had a quote from Stephen King that he had read the books, and he was like, you know, praising them, how good they were. And so I downloaded one of them, which was the short stories.
Yeah, those were great. I loved them.
I started reading them, and I was like, they all take place in Arizona. What the fuck? And then so I looked him up, and he is from Arizona.
Yeah, and even the novel one that you have on there that you haven't read, but I have.
The Handyman.
The Handyman is set in Arizona.
But it kind of like, for us, it's kind of like, it's weird because it's like, I can see that. I know where that's at.
Yeah, see, now, you know, Stephen King obviously does a lot of his stuff in Maine because that's where he's from. It was weird. It's not weird to us for that because we don't live there. Mm-hmm. With this guy, it was really weird. It's like, yeah, I know exactly where that's at. I know exactly where that's at. It's like, oh my God, that's weird. Because we live here. I've lived here for over 30 years, and obviously she was born and raised here, so, you know, so we know these places. We hear of these places. We've been to these places. So it's really weird
and you'll never look at them ever again same way. I really enjoyed the short story one. That's the only one I read, but...
Oh, they were really good.
Them.
Yeah, they were very good. I liked them a lot.
Like, obviously the first one really stuck to me because it was just so shocking because I was not expecting his writing to be that freaking weird and dark.
Yeah. And
so it just stuck to me, and then obviously I loved the snowman one where all the snowmans were out to kill him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
that was fucking hilarious.
They're very original and very
they're weird.
They're weird, but not really original. I think unique, I think is the word, because he's got a very imaginative way of putting things.
Yes. So what was the other one? For some reason, okay, so I read this book while I was working at the fire department.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about car washes, but we get calls to car washes all the time for dead bodies, right? Okay, so there's this one about a car wash.
Yes, there is one in there. That's why I started laughing, because there's one in there about a car wash.
And I was just like, oh my God.
And I remember that one too. Oh my gosh.
And so it stuck with me because of my experiences with car washes, and I'm just like, I'm never going to a car wash in the middle of the night, like, ever. Like, it's just not going to happen. It needs to be crowded in order for me to be there, because I might die and give old people life. I don't know.
I do remember that one. As soon as you said the car wash, I was like, oh my God, I remember that one. Yeah, I don't know how many short stories was in that.
A lot.
But there was a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't actually remember all of them, but like if you say like little pieces of them, I will remember them. But there was so many. But they were all, I don't think there was one in there that I did not like.
There was one in there that was only one sentence long. Do you remember that one?
Yeah. I don't remember it, but I know that it was like one sentence and then it was done.
Yeah, it was a dad talking to the son, and I can't remember what the son said. He was like refusing to eat his food, and he's like, if you don't eat that, then you're gonna kill your mother or something. And then he's like, so I ate her. Remember? It was so weird. I was like, what the fuck? And then it was over, and it was the next story, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I don't remember that one too much.
It was only like one sentence, but it was just so messed up.
But I don't think there was one in the short stories that I didn't like. I think I liked every single one of them, just because they were kind of weird and twisted and very original.
Yeah. And I just love that, like, we can see it because we know these places in Arizona that he's talking about. It's crazy.
See, and I don't get like that when I read Stephen King because I've never even been to Maine, so I don't know those places and whatnot. So I can't imagine, now that we've found this author, I can imagine, like, people that actually read Stephen King that live there.
I'm pretty sure Derry's deserted by now.
They probably never walk by a sewer, or, anything like that. Because, they know these places. Now I know what they feel like.
Yeah. I can't even think of more. We've read so many books, but these are just the ones that really stand out.
Yeah.
Stephen King, Michael Crichton, Bentley Little, V. Schwab. Yeah. Dean Koontz, John Saul. These are all, like, big names, too. Like, a lot of people already know them to begin with, but there's a reason for that.
T.M. Williams is really good, and she's not, a well-known author yet.
Yeah.
I hope she can get there, because she does...
Well, you still haven't read her Apocalypse book.
No, I have not read that one.
It's messed up. I read that one and I was just like,
but I also like her personally, though, too.
Yeah,
she's a very sweet woman. She's funny.
Yeah.
She's very funny.
Yeah, I like going to her panels.
Yeah, I love going to her panels.
Only the 18+ ones, though, because then she really lets go.
Oh, she lets go big time, yeah. But she lives here also. She lives in Scottsdale somewhere, but we follow her on Facebook and all that, but she's very good too. She's just kind of a local writer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, other than that, like, there's just so many books out there in the world. I can't think of anything that really stands out. If you guys have any suggestions
on something that you have read, and, shoot it to us. I mean, we're open to new stuff. I mean,
we like horror, suspense, thriller,
supernatural.
Do not give us romance novels.
No, please, no romance novels.
No romance.
We will be blocking you if you do that. We do not like romance novels, neither one of us. So please don't. Anything that's weird, anything that's good.
Mm-hmm. Anything that's even, like, Harry Potter-ish, like...
Well, that's kind of supernatural.
Like Hunger Games and Divergent series. Like, I loved the Divergent series. Books,
I saw you had them on the Audible.
The books are good. Do not watch the movies. Oh my god, do not watch those movies. I still have not read the Hunger Games, though. I love the movies. But I need to read those ones. Those are on my list. Okay. But I like those kinds of... Don't give me Twilight.
No.
That is one of the teeny movies that I will not, or teeny books I will not read. No. Do not give me those.
Yeah, please, no. They're more romance than anything else, I think. But yeah, just, if you have suggestions, if there's a series, just a couple books by an author or whatnot, please shoot it towards us. I mean, we'll check it out. We have no problem with that. We're always looking for new stuff. We're always looking for good stuff.
What was the worst book you've ever read? Or tried to read, I should say. Because, we can't make it through them.
I can't say.
You can't say?
No.
No?
No, because It's a Stephen King book. And I love Stephen King. But there is one book that I tried and tried really, really hard. I made it like halfway through the whole book.
I just couldn't do it.
And I couldn't do it. And then I had a friend tell me that she rented it on an audiobook. And she listened to the whole thing, and she said that it was the whole book. I was like, oh, thank God I didn't finish it.
As much as I love the movies, the Lord of the Rings books are horrible. They're so boring.
I've never read any of them.
They're so bad. I ended up reading The Hobbit all the way through just because I wanted the points for school, the AR points. Mm-hmm. And, oh God, I hated that book so much. I mean, there's 3 pages of description of Bilbo Baggins running around a field naked.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and I was just like, 3 fucking pages? Like, seriously? So, I've tried giving them a shot over and over again. I've tried reading them. I tried doing the audiobooks, and I was just, no.
Yeah, I saw you had, like, the first one on an audiobook.
I can't do it. They're so different than the movie, though. Just from what, like, the little bit that I got into, but I was just like, God, they're so boring. Oh, we're gonna walk through the forest for, like, 2 fucking weeks. It's gonna take a whole book. It's really bad. I can't read them. They're so bad. I don't know how they got so popular to make into a movie, but the movies are fantastic compared to the books.
But the one that I couldn't make it through, I guess I'm just gonna have to throw it out there since everybody knows it's a Stephen King book now. It's called Lizzie's Story. And it's so slow and it's so drawn out and like nothing as far as to where I got. Nothing ever happened.
Yeah, that's how the Lord of the Rings are.
So bad. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. If you like it, send me something on Facebook and says, "Oh no, it gets better." But as far as what I know, it's so unlike Stephen King to write something like that. I did not like it. Just couldn't make it through it.
Best book adaptation to movie.
Green Mile.
I'd have to say The Stand. I thought The Stand was really good.
There was some stuff that was not in there, whereas Green Mile from book to movie was, so dead on. It was so dead on that, holy crap. It was amazing what they did with that movie.
I'd have to say the worst adaptation but you would have to say The Dark Tower, but I haven't watched the movie, so I'm trying to think of my worst adaptation. The Lost World. Oh my God.
That was so weird. When I read the book,
did you read it?
Yeah, you have it on
It's nothing
Audible?
Like the movie.
No.
Oh, it doesn't even have the same characters in it.
No.
I was like, what the hell?
I was really shocked.
Yeah, no, it doesn't even have, what was his name, Malcolm?
No, it has Malcolm in it, but it wasn't his daughter. These were like students.
Yeah, it was students.
There was 2 of them, by the way, not just the girl.
It was a white girl and a black boy, not a little black girl.
Yeah. So, I was like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, this is not what I know to be The Lost World.
No, it's completely different. 100% different. That's probably the one that I didn't think of.
But see, also another one that didn't quite go from book to movie also was World War Z.
Oh, God.
Because you'd have that one, too.
Did you read that one?
Yes, I did. I loved the fact that one of the interviewees the voice was done by Alan Alda. Mm-hmm. As soon as I heard the voice, I was like, oh, it's Alan Alda.
Yeah, but even in the book...
But because it's like an interview. It's like a reporter going around of, asking different people. And then the movie, and don't get me wrong, I love the movie, and you know this, because it has Brad Pitt in it. And I love the movie, I own it. But the book to the movie was so different. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying either one was bad, but it was so different.
Yeah, no, the World War Z book, I don't even know where they got the idea for the movie, really, because...
Yeah, because there wasn't any of that in it. It was just...
Even in the book, it said that they were slow-moving and sluggish zombies. Like, I don't even know how they got this fast-paced...
Just rip the shit out of the world.
Yeah, I'm like, where did you even get... That is not... You don't even have...
Who knows?
The only thing they took from it was the title. Literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't even think they can say it was based on the book because they literally just took the title.
But I liked both. I did. So, but it just wasn't... It wasn't good. It wasn't a good adaptation from the book. But I do like the movie. One that I don't like the movie from an adaptation, there would be actually two that were really bad, would be obviously The Dark Tower, because that one, I'm sorry, you can't fit 7 books in a 2-hour movie and cut out 2 of the main characters from it, and like nothing that they did in the movie ever happened in any of the books. Like nothing. You had the names of the characters and that's it. That's it. And then the other one would have to be the new Pet Sematary.
That one was bad.
That one was so bad. And I know we already we did a review on that one. Mm-hmm. So if you want to see that one and see our thoughts on that, you can go to that one. But we did do a review, and that one was, I mean, they got names, but they changed a whole lot that they shouldn't have. Now, if they had wanted to make another movie that happened after that and made it this way, I probably would have been okay with that. But they used the same names, same people. Well, not same people, but same actors. But they were supposed to be the same people, and they changed way too much. If they just said, "Oh, this is a new family moving in,"
yeah,
I would have been okay with that more than taking the same basis of the last movie and doing everything that they did with this.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It was terrible.
It was terrible.
I watch a lot more movies than I read books, so I'm pretty sure like a lot of the movies we've seen are probably in books.
Now, I know you liked Interview with the Vampire, that whole series.
I didn't read the whole series, so I read, oh my god, how many did I read? I think 4 or 5 of them. And so, Interview with a Vampire, it was good. It was very relatable to the book, but there was a lot that was different as well, and
yeah, we've discussed this before.
Way more in depth with Interview with a Vampire. Like, you really, like the whole mind thing, like you don't get that from the movie so much, that they're like interconnected.
Yeah.
But that one was really good. And then there's the Vampire Lestat. That one was really hard to make it through, just for the fact of him having sexual relations with his mom after he turned her into a vampire. It was really weird. I was like, yeah, that was the norm for back then. Yeah. But that was just okay. And then it was the next one's Queen of the Damned, which made it into a movie as well. But like, I heard that there was a movie called The Vampire Lestat somewhere out there. I've never seen it, so I'm not sure. If you know
where to get it, shoot it to us, because
I didn't even know it existed. I was like, how did they make the first movie and then the third one? Yeah. And skip the second one? But apparently it's out there somewhere.
Somewhere.
I've never watched it. I'm not sure if I want to watch that one. I was trying to get to the one that was going to be about Lestat's, the one that turned Lestat.
Oh, okay.
Because within the books,
you find out who his creator is.
His creator, and how fucked up, and why Lestat was so really fucked up.
Okay.
But you don't really dig deep into it until like there is one that's about his creator and like how he treated Lestat and all that. But I never really made it that far. But I would love to read that one because it sounds really messed up. It explains Lestat a lot.
Okay, well,
I don't know. Anne Rice is really good.
Yeah.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes.
love Edgar Allan Poe. I have his entire collection. I think I've read them all.
The Grimm brothers.
The Grimm brothers, yeah.
Definitely.
There was one, H.P. Lovecraft.
Yep.
Gotta love Cthulhu. Yeah, Edgar Allan Poe's really good. His poems, I'm not a big fan of his poems, besides like Annabelle Lee, because that one's just, wow, okay. For his stories, I don't know why, but I loved The Pendulum.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even like, I don't
think I've read that, in the last 30 years, but that was a good one.
Yeah, just that one. I don't know what it was. It wasn't even that much of a story. It was really short and just kind of him moving around the room, and it's dark, and but it was just like, it was just really well done. The Black Cat. Everybody knows about the Black Cat, but that one was really good too. Man. So, anyways, I think we can probably wrap up. We could talk about books all day
long.
We
could. But we know everybody's got things to take care of, so.
Yeah. Read more books. Listen to more books.
Shoot us some suggestions on some good books, something that we would like to try, something new. We're more than open for anything. So.
I even like some of the real story stuff. I've been hearing about this. I don't remember what it's called. There's a new series out that everybody's raving about this mother writes about her daughter and her life story of her daughter, like, going through I think it's like heroin addiction or crack addiction or something. I heard that's really good. It's very moving, but it's a real story.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I like some of that stuff too. It's interesting.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever. So give us some suggestions. We can either get it on Audible if it's available, or
we have Frankenstein coming up.
Yeah.
We're gonna attempt to read.
Yeah.
Frankenstein attempt. I'm saying attempt. Okay, yeah, so if we get to that and we say we couldn't do it, I'm sorry, but we're going to attempt to read the original Frankenstein.
Yeah. We'll try.
So anyway, that's all we got for Book Lovers Day. I suggest that you take this day and go read a book. And keep ghouling.